You're next, Gabe. Go for it.
Oh, I'm next. Okay,
You
so
said am
here's
I
the-
next? You're next.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna talk about the one I know the most about because every single person on the planet knows it.
Jesus.
That
Dying?
would be. I
On
was
the
gonna
cross?
say Noah's Ark, but
Mm.
I'm trying to think if there's a weird way to.
I specifically there's like 2 movies about it. One movie about it.
What?
There's way more
Let
than
me
2
phrase that.
movies about it.
Stop.
okay?
Stop. Pause. Period. Rewind. There's way more fucking movies about it, but fucking Bruce Almighty's a movie that exists.
I forgot about
That's
that.
not
That's-
about the
Yes,
flood.
it is.
That's a second flood. It's a separate thing. It happened 12 years ago.
Guess what?
2010.
Guess what? I didn't fucking know that.
It was a recreation of something that may or
But
may not have happened.
he got 2 animals on
4,000 years
on it.
Yeah.
Are you telling me 12 years ago a flood happened and someone put 2 of every goddamn animal?
Yeah, I
on
think
the
that movie
on it?
was based in Los Angeles.
You got like 2 minutes before I start hitting you guys with the hard questions. And
Okay, fine. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
fine.
hurry,
Fine.
hurry.
I got some tough ones, and I don't know that
Wait, are
it
these
will
Bible
either make the
questions?
podcast way more interesting, or we will end this podcast very quickly.
Bible questions?
No, they're not Bible questions.
Okay. That's more exciting. I'll get through these 2 minutes. Check
Okay.
it. Okay, so there's a dude, right?
Mhm,
Right?
mhm,
Right?
mhm.
There's a dude. You said you wanted me to explain this shittily. I could
Okay,
explain it better.
Yep. Nope,
There's a
this is
dude.
perfect.
Dude, all right, we eliminate half the Bible. All
Yep.
the women, we don't care about
I
that.
don't know if that's half. There's like 2 women.
That is less than half of
It's
the
like
Bible, my friend. Even I know that.
Wait, less or more?
There is a dude, and there's another dude.
Okay, got 2 dudes.
They're farmers.
Cain and Abel.
They're farm.
Motherfuckers.
That was
stop it.
good. That was. Oh no! He was like, "There's 2 dudes."
Oh, I'm too good, dude. I'm too good. Mom, get the camera.
Okay.
Oh,
There's
shit.
a
next.
There's a dude.
Okay.
But he's a baby.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Benjamin.
No.
Say Benjamin Button.
The guy from the
Yeah.
Bible hit book Benjamin 12:16 hit passage. Okay, there's a dude, but he's a baby.
Okay.
All right. And in order to avoid an
I already know it.
epidemic, you could say, of people
Moses.
killing babies,
No, this isn't Moses. I don't think.
is that he was put into a container.
Okay, never mind. This is Moses. I thought he was.
and then placed into a river.
I thought he was gonna go at least on the
Supposed
thing.
to omit the details, bro. Omit the details.
What the fuck
okay,
do you
so
want me to
this is-
say?
This is a bad
Dude.
game.
I don't
This
know.
is a bad game.
Okay.
This is my fault. I'll take the onus for this. But
And okay, hold on real quick.
okay.
What is the definition of infanticide?
I don't fucking know, man.
Is that not killing babies?
No.
I don't think we're looking it up now.
Because like blank side is the killing of something,
You're
right?
about to use the example of genocide. You're like, I don't remember. What...
No, I know what genocide means. I didn't want to talk about genocide.
Do you know what? Do you know what
because that's bad.
xenocide is?
Oh yeah, it is. It is. You're right. It is. It is
Infants-
the crime
infants-
of killing a child within a year of its birth.
All right, well, I'm right. 0, 2.
I'm sorry, Con. Okay, we're about to make this. Either we're gonna get canceled.
Hey, it's your show, man. You're the one getting
wait, yeah.
canceled.
This is a three-way. This is a three-way
All right.
show. Come on.
Okay.
It's a new show, dude.
It's a
You're
new
one of
show.
the producers now.
This is
and
true.
stars.
I don't have any money, so good luck.
All right, I'm gonna say.
Look at that face. That's money.
I'm gonna say 5 words, and then I'm gonna, and then someone else has to talk. Okay, I will give my answer to the question that I'm gonna ask, but I have to go second. All right,
All right, let's
ready?
example round.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
No. It's better if there's no example round. But Corey, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first? Because I don't want to talk at the same time.
I'll go first before this alcohol
Alright.
starts hitting me.
Ooh,
Alright,
actually, that's probably a
I'm
good
just
idea.
kidding.
Before you're
I'm just kidding. It's cherry Coke. There's nothing.
no,
Cheers.
It's fine for you to drink alcohol, but
Cheers.
it's probably good that I'm asking this question now. It shouldn't be that controversial, but it's going to be because.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm in here.
All right, you ready for the 5 words? All right, Corey.
Okay.
Andrew Tate.
Oh, God.
This is the first 2. Six words. Sorry, I can't count. Let's not get hit in the head. All right. So I have an excuse. What do you think?
Andrew Tate, what do you think?
Yep. That's it.
What you think?
What you think? There it is. Thank you, Gabe.
About Andrew Tate. I only know the shit that he has said that shows up on social media. I have not done I've not read a biography per se. I guess my opinion would be I'm glad he is trapped in Romania or whatever.
Arrested, whatever.
Yeah.
Rested.
Romania? It's a
Yeah.
Romania, right?
Yeah.
I saw that he lost his appeal to keep his assets the other day, so they took that shit, and I was
Taking
like,
all that shit.
cool.
Yep.
Anyone who follows him or believes what he says, there's a picture of Homer Simpson, and it does an X-ray, and it like shows his brain.
Oh yeah.
People who agree with anything he says, almost. I mean, I'm sure there's something he says where go out and do things yourself, sure, but the route that
The
he
core of
advocates people to take, yeah, the
Okay.
hateful speech that he says, not about it. And people who subscribe to that kind of information also have a small brain like he does.
I think Gabe's dead. We lost him.
Oh, I'm very much dead. You said Andrew Tate, and I was like,
You don't know
my-
anything about him?
My answer is he says things on the internet that cause controversy,
Mm-hmm.
and he sounds like a moron.
Yep.
That's all I got. So he got arrested. Cool. And if it actually is related to the reason that they said he was getting arrested for, then yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What the hell?
I agree with 99% of what both of you have said.
But he's got a cool haircut.
No,
I don't know.
I don't even think my haircut's cool. I don't know. This is out
Hey.
This is out of
cool.
pure. It's easy. It's great to fight in. Like when you're like pushing somebody up against the cage. It's nice to not have a bunch of hair caught up in shit. You just shave it all off. That's my thought process. But anyway, I think the dude. I look at him in the same way that I look at people who stormed the Capitol building.
Also small brains.
It's like small brain, but I feel so bad. Like I have a little bit of like pity for those people because it's like I understand the path that you went through to get to that place. And I wish you didn't have to go. I wish you didn't go through the things. It is still 100% your fault for making the active decisions to do what you've done. Like in his case, if all that shit is true, this doesn't justify like sex trafficking. Like dog, like that's sorry. Like you lock you up, throw away the key, kill you for all I care. I don't care. But
Ooh, corporal punishment. Not.
We can talk about that too.
What is it called?
Capital punishment. I think.
Capital.
Yeah. Is it capital? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think if you take anything to the extremes is bad. And he to me is like reverberation. Is that a real word? Reverberation? Is that how you?
Reverberation is a word.
That's the word. He's like.
I don't know what it means.
It's like the bounce back or whatever. Like the he's basically the response you would get from the last couple of years. I think there is genuinely uh I think there's genuine. The best part is this does show up on the stream, so it's like it's not like it's hidden. It's like
no,
right
no,
there.
no.
It's right there. It's literally right there. But basically, I think he's just an extreme reaction to how crazy extreme people have been the other way. And if people would just fucking find the little middle ground, it'd be nice. But it's impossible because people are fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for there being a gray area. I guess it doesn't need to be, black and white.
Like, do I think you should be going around smacking women? No. Bad idea. Don't do that.
Some of them like it though. Nowadays, you got to be careful.
Well, it's different. It's
I
different.
was raised to like respect women, and now they want me to disrespect.
I don't. I love.
My mama taught me good morals.
I think the smacking that you're talking about right now is totally different than what.
That's black and white.
Yes, there's two different like realms of thought, I guess, with that.
Find a safe word, everybody.
Let's hear. That's a better conversation. Let's tell everyone our safe words.
I don't.
He said that's a better conversation. He hated whatever you were talking about.
I understand. I told you. It wasn't gonna. It was either gonna be good or really bad. So
like I
it's
said,
okay.
no.
He can talk about what you want, and then you can move on to the next topic you had because you said you had like 3 or 4 lined up.
Yeah, you said 2 minutes. Oh no, this is the first one. Never mind.
I didn't. Yeah. I like the capital punishment thing though.
True. Add that to the notes.
Do you
capital?
I think we talked about this in a car ride a little bit ago.
I think we did as well.
Do you think I don't know how to phrase that. You phrase it, Corey. I don't know how to phrase the question.
Wait, Gabe said he wanted to talk about something else.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said he had a better idea.
About what? No, I didn't. My joke. I didn't say that. I said. Well, I did.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's called humor.
Capital punishment? I don't know how to phrase the question. Like, are you an advocate or, I guess, is it a moral question? Probably an ethics question.
I think
ethically, do you think capital punishment should exist?
I think it solely exists on the extent of the crime. I think
agreed.
It should exist on the extent of the crime.
It should.
Who gets to decide? Who should decide? At what point?
I mean, that's kind of what well, no, they couldn't do that for every single crime. Like, I was going to say that's kind of what our court system is for, like our Supreme Court system is for, but they wouldn't be able to do that for every single case. So, I guess
I think it's an interesting concept though to put that, like, if someone's about to be, someone's on death row, they got a month before they're supposed to go. They're the first on the docket. It goes onto this app that everyone gets all the information. They have to verify that they've read everything, be fully informed on all the evidence.
Okay.
And a large majority of informed people have to make the decision. And it's not just like 5 people in a room. It's 100,000 people who are. It's tough because right now, capital punishment is a state-based issue. It's not necessarily a national one.
Oh, but
a federal one.
I see.
And
yeah.
So like it's legal and it's used in Texas and Louisiana and Alabama and
those
a couple others. Yeah, well, that goes to show, right? It's like that type of those people who have gathered together in those areas predominantly have those views of that type of thing. What about a worldwide? Like, obviously, I think the Middle East is a strong advocate for it. It happens all the time, especially like, extremists who use it to like scare populations by doing it in front of a camera and exhibitioning it to everyone to see to invoke fear. And I think it's also used, in like India for extreme crimes and they still cut fingers off and hands off for thieves. Like that was an old form of punishment. If you were a thief, you got your hand cut off. That prevented you from stealing anymore. Now, is it a worldwide issue? I think it should be, because I don't think anyone has the right to decide whether another person lives or dies. But I do agree with you that there are, for me, and I think it's very subjective as far as like who should get, on what scale for you personally do you think that 10 of a crime that you committed is punishable by death? And there's way too many like subjective views, I think.
I think it is like, it's not something that's very simply like, if someone does this, kill them. It's more of like, to me, if you've done what we consider like super heinous crimes, especially if you're a repeat offender of such crimes, I think at a certain point it's like, hey, this person, let's take murder or manslaughter or whatever. Like, you killed a person, all right?
You killed a person inadvertently or premeditated.
Well, murder is premeditated, and manslaughter is not premeditated, I believe, right?
Okay.
I think.
Manslaughter is you caused murder, but that was not your intention, or you caused a death.
Okay, so it was
intention.
okay.
Yeah,
Which is
manslaughter
also different from being
accidental.
an accessory.
So then what's
Correct.
Is it just the degrees that determine whether or not something is
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it has to compound, right? You have to like kill, premeditate, and other things in order to reach a threshold where it's not just life, it's like life plus death sentence.
I guess
to get the option of having that,
I guess
possibly be your.
For me, it's more of like, if someone has killed another person and it's premeditated. Say what? Oh, and it's premeditated. My question becomes: Is that enough to kill that person morally, or do they need to kill two people? And then, like, if they were a repeat offender, then you're like, okay, all right, this motherfucker is like, we have a pattern now. Like, we're down two people.
So serial killer specifically.
Maybe
because
maybe
2 plus, I believe, gives you the title of serial killer.
I thought it was more than that.
I'm gonna close this tab of Bible things and look up serial killer definition.
I remember not thinking. I remember thinking this is kind of funny. I remember thinking it was like equivalent to a combo in a video game, because you know how combos always start at 3.
Yeah.
I remember thinking it always started at 3 for that reason.
3 or more.
It is 3 or more.
This is so morbid, but I can see a dude with the little combo meter on the top of his head, just like, I don't know. That I shouldn't say that, but it's funny.
Dude, the Zodiac Killer had a combo streak up here, just like ding 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 ding.
The CCC. Khan has a good question. What if that person kills your mom? Do you want him to kill another person?
Yeah, exactly, right? It's too subjective.
Well, then people just argue life in prison, because if you gain life in prison, unless
I don't think it should be life either.
For premeditated murder.
Correct.
What do you think it should be?
Like if it's premeditated murder,
like rehabilitation.
For example, Khan put the question: someone killed your mother, and then you go kill your killer.
Okay.
Should you spend life in prison?
No. But like, yours is clearly a reaction.
But the person who killed your mom was intending to kill someone else, and she died inadvertently, or what's the term?
Manslaughter.
But wait, then that's not premeditated though.
I see. Yeah, I guess it's important. Like that's why the law gets so finicky, right?
I feel like if someone premeditatedly kills anyone, like, you can add the clause of relative, mother, whatever. I think it's justifiable for that person to kill that other person, and nothing happens to them. That might be a wild thing to say, but to me personally, I don't see the wrong in that.
Well, I mean, it's the same. Like, it's this.
I actually think prison systems are a band-aid to the underlying issue, which is it starts with education, teaching people ethics to be murder is not the answer. or most other crimes, that's you should just not do that. And then having kind of some sort of system, like ideally you want some sort of system that educates people to not do things, creates
Okay.
a world where you don't necessarily have to do the crimes per se. Obviously murder is an extreme crime. We're
Yeah.
talking about killing you because you did it. Stealing something like $1 billion arguably could be said that that should also deserve a killing because you've ruined, a certain amount of economical lives of other people, blah blah blah. But starting
yeah.
with it, I think like a band-aid is what we're talking about eventually, because you go to some other countries and they don't kill anyone, and even if you murdered someone, you're in a prison and you live a fully functioning life.
But
I
they
think it's
don't.
like Sweden or something.
So I learned something about Sweden the other day that kind of didn't change my perspective on it, but it put some stuff into perspective.
Mhm.
So like part of the reason why they don't have to worry about stuff like this, or is this not something like in the forefront of people's brains there, is because they have a lot of they have they have a much smaller population, and B, they have a lot of things in place to not put people in a position where they feel like they have to make that decision. It's like, okay, I'm like whatever, like if I lost my job or whatever, there are government things put in place to handle like homelessness or hunger and things of that nature, so that people aren't put in a position where like I need to kill this person so I can steal this from them. Like, however, part of the reason that like a lot of times the cause of stuff like that from us isn't necessarily because we don't have things put in place for them. It's just generally like like whether you want to say poor mental health, or
Easy access to guns and knives.
easy access to lethal weapons. Um, there was a like there's another word I'm looking for bad mental health, and I can't remember what the word is. But I also learned that in places like Sweden, they just don't allow Down syndrome births. That's like a thing. So like on one hand, it's like, okay, cool, like you have a nice society, things are great, but you're also kind of not having you're not allowing people with mental deficiencies to be born too, which can cause that to happen. So I don't know.
I don't see a problem.
You don't see a problem with that?
I know. This is the last episode I've ever on this
Yeah.
podcast, but I think that's okay. If we have the technology as humans to enable us to like
I'm
to
just
create
laughing at Gabe raising his hand. That's what.
I mean, I'll just say we have the technology to like make humans better and do things that will improve our lives and take away the burden of natural selection doing its thing for the however many millions of years it's been doing its thing, and we can like design it a little bit better. I don't see a problem.
I have a question for that, but I want to hear what Gabe says.
Yeah, Gabe, go ahead.
I have two things.
Okay.
First thing, I just want to let you know, in case you didn't know, that you are currently in the Marvel Snap category.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's fine. I really hope that some snappers pop in here and they're like,
That's the
"Oh,
goal.
what's the new deck?" And we're like, "Oh,
That's
it's
the goal.
Bible.
It's
The
Bible.
Bible deck.
It's Bible and capital punishment.
The Bible capital punishment deck. I'm gonna name whatever deck I'm playing right now. Oh, I'm playing a destroy deck right now. Capital punishment. Boom. Okay, real question.
Okay.
He forgot. What were you gonna ask, Joe?
Oh, I thought you were about to ask something, motherfucker.
So I was.
Okay, all right. That's what I was waiting on. I thought something else was coming. It's gone. Okay,
It
all right.
flew away.
That's fine. Fuck. Now I'm trying to remember what Corey said.
I think it's okay that Sweden does what it does.
Okay.
Oh, I remembered, but you go.
No, you go.
Birth?
I remember
Okay.
mine too. You're good.
Okay.
Go for it.
Corey, have either of you seen the movie Gattaca?
Yes.
Jude Law and
Yeah.
Yeah. That society is what you're describing right now.
Oh, I
Because
understand.
yeah, like where if we can if we have the technology and whatever to make perfect births or like better people.
Okay,
Hold
yes,
on.
I guess I did say that. Yeah,
Okay.
You
that's
did
fair.
say that, and that's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
like nip that. I'm curious. The people in this situation, Sweden, with what is it specifically Down syndrome?
That was
Right.
the conversation and thing I listened to that from. To be fair, I'm gonna put this caveat out there that the conversation I heard this from was from a podcast. They could be bullshit. Like that
Bullshit.
could
Oh, so
be
there's
totally
the
wrong.
source
Yeah.
is
I
bad.
don't have the
Okay,
source
got it.
is not good. So, but if I'm assuming that that is true, then I have my question for Corey.
Yeah, let me rephrase. I think it's good that we can prevent things like that, not necessarily go in the direction of like let's engineer humans. I meant it's good that we can prevent a person from being at a certain point you're not even a functioning human. Like it's
Down
you
syndrome
don't
people
have a
are
true experience of life usually. I mean, obviously there's a
yeah.
spectrum. There's a spectrum of how much of Down syndrome you have, and the ones that can't function and do anything for themselves, you don't get to experience life.
The
I guess my biggest question is there what is the line at which you would not do that? That's the tough thing. So it's
I
like
don't know.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't have
it's like
enough medical information
yeah, like it's like I because on one hand I agree with that. It's like damn, I because that's one of those decisions that I guess parents do get to make. Like if they know in advance that their child is gonna not be able to live like a very
full and fulfilling.
yeah like fulfilling life, then they that's something that the parents that's a decision that they get to make. I guess some people would just say, "Oh, we'll leave that to the parents," but the problem is that decision that the parents makes affects everyone, not just the parents. So, if we're gonna expand that decision to other people, whether it's government or whatever community, society, state, whatever you want to say, what would be the line where it's like, okay, this is fine. Like, okay, so this person's gonna be born, they will have all of the other functionality of their body, but like their fucking big toe is not there. It's like, all right, they're gonna be fine. We can let that person go. Versus like, okay, your kid's gonna be born, but they're being born with like no arms or something like it, like I
I'd
don't
say
know
the
where the
line would be like it's up to the parents 100%,
but
and no one else gets to decide
but
except the
then
parents.
Sweden that thing in Sweden wouldn't be the case because that's more on the doctor than it is on the
Well, that's
parents.
what I mean. The doctor is in place. He has signed or whatever. He has taken the oath, and he is abiding by Sweden's laws. And if the parents come in and they're like, "We got the test. We have the embryo, DNA results, and this is what we're predicting," and
Hmm.
at that point, it's the parents' 100% choice. The doctor either has to do it or not do it. And if the doctor doesn't want to do it, that's something that obviously you can't just like blanket change like, oh, all the doctors in the US now you have to abide by this, because that
Yeah.
obviously happened with Roe v. Wade. There
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
places that you can, and the places that will just pure deny you.
Yeah.
But I think it still should be like, there shouldn't be like Gabe's example of Gattaca, where they take it to the extreme and it is this whole Superman style thing where we take embryos and we mash these up and we have kids once every 100 years type of shit. I still think it should be the parents' choice, and educating the parents to understand the choices of their, the
Got you.
yeah,
The choices
yeah,
that like,
right,
hey, this is a really important choice.
yeah.
Here.
I mean, it should be taught to kids, or it should be taught to parents, to anyone who wants to have a kid, what everything is going to be. It just so happens that we live in a society where, unfortunately, young people can just get together and have kids, and they have no education, they have no understanding of what happens, and then we have adoptions, and we have people just giving things up. We have abortions that are being searched out unsafely or safely. Like, there's so much that can be started on the ground level of parenthood that you get to these like extraneous things, and it's like, yeah, that's how we like deal with it now. But I still think most of our energy should be spent educating and enabling people to make the or to make their own decisions without having a government or other body step in and make it for them.
Okay, I'm gonna drag you down into worse conversation
Oh yeah,
because you said something
okay,
that
Gabe's not worse.
yeah,
You said worse.
Gabe's like, fuck, dude. So
Hey, you're the one that put your name.
unless you have something else you want to say, Gabe, I
Mm.
don't know. The glasses came off, so okay, all right,
Whoa! I'm putting myself out here.
yeah.
Speak up, sir.
What do you want me to say? What am I answering now?
No, you're not answering. What's your take?
Yeah, what's your take?
Do you agree or disagree with my extreme platform? I mean, obviously, this is not just something that is floating around everyone's head all the time.
This is
Neither is
true.
it on mine, but
That's kind of the point.
I think there's too many. It's like this argument, no matter which way you lean, no matter like, I'm not saying that there's only two sides you can lean because it's like a fucking circle,
Yeah,
right? It's like a Venn diagram. You pick and choose,
Yeah.
and they some correlate.
it's a lot of circles.
No matter which side you move to on this topic, it's like the only way you can accurately get to that point in a society is almost some form of, like, for lack of a better word, utopia,
Mm.
right? Because utopia doesn't have to mean like a perfect, because like I correlate everything to media of some sort, right?
Yeah.
So take any form of utopia in movies or
Mhm.
comics or anything. How often is the plot in those the fact that the utopia isn't actually a utopia, and there's always like a a shadow
Yeah.
government or an underbelly, and it's not actually, it's just perceived
Somebody's
that way.
always trying
You
to
can
take
you can
advantage.
argue the same thing for current day like government societies now, where oh, everything's fine and dandy and whatever, but in reality there's all this fucked up shit that 90% of the population, that's
true.
a random number, I don't actually know,
Yeah, I know.
obviously, but that side of the population doesn't know about it all. We just sit inside and play video games all day. We don't think about this shit unless I'm just saying, we don't think about any of this
it's not something that.
unless we're having conversations like this.
But that's to me personally, that's what makes these conversations. Like, I love talking about shit like this because
I love it.
they're
Yeah.
very heavy conversations that people don't normally get to have, and so from my perspective to the viewers, being able to see this conversation kind of played out, I think is entertaining. It would be entertaining to me. So I don't know.
that's fair. Joe, can you put that knife away before you?
Dude, he knows how. That was butterfly knife.
That was
movements.
not. That was flailing. Why would you? You shouldn't be intimidated.
That's what
by
it's
that.
called when you play with a
I'm
knife.
pretty
Flailing.
sure. Have you ever played with a butterfly knife?
I have. I think my
Because
brother
I'm
still
pretty
has
sure it's just flailing around, but looks cool.
I
You
would
just shake
love
your
to
hand a
learn.
lot, and my brother, who was in the chat momentarily, is an expert butterfly knife
Butterfly knifer.
maneuverer.
I need to talk to him because I've always thought about where you start. Obviously, you start with
Every
like a dull
every
blade, but
Yeah, they have like the dull blade ones that
Yeah.
are literally just.
He had one of those too. But I don't know if you were moving to another topic or not.
Kinda,
But if
but,
we are,
yeah.
before we do,
Okay. All right.
because I didn't get a lot of talking time there. Let me just
Yeah.
take the floor.
Huh? It's all yours.
Yeah, Corey talks a lot. The problem with risk of sounding a little bit Shapiro-y.
Ooh, here we go.
another 6-letter words.
Shapipo. Shabippo.
That was like 8 words at least.
What do you
and then-
think about Ben Shapiro?
That is not the
Sorry.
sentence I said. I get what you're saying. Anyway, what I was gonna say was the problem in conversations like this, because all these conversations, any like deep conversation,
Mhm.
bottles down to the sentence, "What's your opinion on this topic?" You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is when we're building these fictions, for lack of a better word, these fictional worlds. We're world building here in a way, right?
Hmm.
Problem solving.
Sure, but we're problem solving with opinion, right?
No, I'm a licensed physician.
Let me
He's not.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me state here that Joe, you have a degree in like filmography or something, right?
Yeah, production and design.
Production.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe has a degree in production. Corey, how many college classes have you taken?
20.
That's not true. Is that true?
Yeah, it's like 20.
I love how he instantly was like, "That's not true." Wait a minute. Fuck.
Wait, do you did you do hold on, do you have a college degree?
No, I don't have an actual diploma now.
Okay.
Well,
I've
that's-
taken
yeah.
I've taken one. So preface that I know nothing about. I don't know shit about the Bible we figured out today.
What do
I
you
didn't-
know, Gabe?
I know
What
how
is
to
your
cl-
area of
I know how to
expertise?
I can 1v3 in Apex, homie. That's all I need. That's
So
all I on a controller.
I
dude.
want to
Prove it
add.
right now,
I gotta
right
add a
on the
caveat
stream.
because, like, on one hand, yes, sure, like we're not experts.
I
But-
do know pizza.
Dude,
Sorry.
I do like. pizza.
I
Thanks,
know
Dying
pizza.
Bite.
I know.
I think that I'm not saying that we should be the people making decisions, but I think that the opinions of people who are not experts in a field have value.
Oh.
Because most of the time, those are the people that are having to vote on different things that are going to change the thing that they're talking about. So just because I don't have the expertise in a particular field, if it's something that I'm like, hey, my society or my community or whatever, it has to vote on this thing, I'm not saying that people should just hear what I say and then copy it and then just go like forward, but I think that there's a point and a good purpose to voicing that opinion.
100%. 100%.
Just because
if you
I think
don't
that's
talk about the
yeah.
issue with your peers, you don't have any opinions on
I think
it.
it
You
just
don't
seems
even
like a
know
bad
the
idea.
issue at all.
Let me preface. I'm not saying that it's bad.
I know you
that
weren't.
we-
I was
or
just
that
adding.
We shouldn't
Yeah.
talk like this. You know, I'm just saying the conversation. It's always hard for me personally to find an end.
There's not going to be a resolution.
That's the
It's
bit,
a
right? There's no
continuing
resolution.
conversation,
Yeah,
right?
there's no resolution, but there's only a resolution if the goal of the conversation is trying to pull one person over to one opinion from whatever theirs is. Then you're working towards an end. That's more like a debate kind of thing.
Gabe, I
Yeah.
need you to be on the side of killing children. No,
With
not
Down
even children.
syndrome?
Unborn fetuses with Down syndrome.
With Down
Me
syndrome.
personally.
Corey, I will give you the floor, but my answer will be no.
Oh,
What?
Sounds good.
no
All
to
right.
killing embryos.
All right. Okay. That's 2 for embryo killing, dying bite, and
Me
Corvus.
personally sounds good. I only heard kill children. All right, well, I'm the mod. I'm gonna go ahead and time this person now. Hold on.
The thing that you brought up that made me want to ask you, because you said unfortunately we're in a world where young people can just have sex, have babies, whatever. Do you think China's got a different kind of set of problems? Do you think that, I guess, sexual liberation is a bad thing? Or do you think it's a
No.
good thing? Okay, no. You pointed out a bad thing about it.
In that
But-
context, I was talking about young people as in there is on planet Earth, there are still young girls who are younger than bodily should be able or
What's the
legally
number?
should be able. I don't know.
No, what's the number? Tell me.
What's the legal number in our
No.
country is 18.
Which number?
What is your personal number?
Of what?
All of our numbers are 18. They're just putting that out there. There's
Yeah,
no.
what do you mean? What is
Yeah,
my
I don't-
number?
I don't know what.
You were
I
saying-
meant in that context, it was like we live in a world where young people can, and I meant younger than
and
their
legally.
brains are fully functioning to understand the repercussions of what they're about to do. I do not mean in any context that sex is bad. Having children is something that I think there should be a system in place that helps educate people to understand the full context and the full repercussions of their actions.
So that's kind of Dying by saying I hear a lot of people say it's a responsibility thing. That's the way I feel about it. It's not that I think that sex is bad. I think that I guess this is me making a prescription. So like feel free to argue with it or whatever. I think that as a society, we have pulled all the responsibility away from sex. I love sex. When like I'm not like the type of person that sleeps around or does like the party thing, like sleeps with not anymore. I used to. That was fantastic times when I was doing video work and production stuff. That shit was awesome. But
Tell us about it.
we can. But I nowadays I like I don't know. It feels like nowadays sex is so like there's no weight behind it. And I'm not saying that every sexual interaction you have to have with somebody has to be like, okay, fucking let's open the Bible and then, be like, all right, well, sex between two, like, I don't give a, like, it doesn't need to be that crazy, but I feel like we've gone so far to the other way that it's just like, damn, like it has no weight now. And I feel it kind of sucks because I feel like a lot of shitty things have happened now or are more common now because of it. But
I still think, unfortunately, in this case, in dealing with sex and the negative connotations that usually end up from it, is it goes back to like not educating kids at a young
True,
age to
true,
understand
true.
what sex is and understand their bodies and be comfortable with it and understand what the hormones are and all the crazy things that end up
That's
happening
true.
and consent and all of that stuff. It's all enclosed. Now, Dying Bite said something different. Sex and having children should be two different things, and I agree with that. It should
Yeah.
there should be
Yeah,
two
yeah,
separate. Hey,
that's
we are
yeah.
we are intending on having a family. We have the infrastructure in our household to be able to support this child. This is something we want to do. Versus two independent people who just want to fornicate, and they should be two separate issues. And we are mammals. That is a natural thing. That is how we produce. That is how we're going to continue to reproduce. And I think the liberating part of it, of like, the 70s and 80s where everyone was doing everything in anyone, it was good in a way that it took away kind of this shadow and cloak or whatever, cloak
Yeah.
and dagger, whatever the
Like
fuck, kind of like,
kind of
like, oh,
which I
Christianity
agree.
is the only thing that can happen. Let's open the Bible,
Yeah.
man and woman, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Like, no, you
All
just do
that
whatever
shit,
you
fuck all
want
that.
as long as the other person's okay with it and you're not hurting yourself or others. Like, that should be the baseline and no one else should be able to step in the way of it. And
I guess the problem is the immediate you're not hurting you're not hurting yourself or others. The problem is it feels like now in the long run you are hurting others. Not in like a very physical way, but in like a
what do you mean?
Okay, so like the cost of having a kid I say a kid, the cost of having a child that you can't support uh as a part of our society isn't just shared by that person. There are other people that now it's not immediate, but it's very tangentially. Like it's not like oh shit, you had a kid, now it costs me extra. Like that's not exactly how it works. But there's a snowball effect that happens when two people have a kid that they can't support. That affects everyone around them. Everyone that kid is going to then affect or interact with. It can be a monetary thing if there's like some kind of governmental assistance or whatever. Like it's one of those things where everyone is very comfortable saying like, do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. I'm like, all right, well, we're kind of gotten to a point where it is, I guess hurting is the wrong word. It is affecting others.
Impacting.
Yeah. So it's not negative. It has the possibility to be a negative. It has the possibility to hurt others, but it's not quite. It's very like gray. It's kind of on the borderline where it's like, all right, well, this seems kind of shitty. Like why do I have to pay for something that another person did? You know, why do I have to suffer some consequence because you motherfuckers couldn't figure your shit out before you made this like really really huge decision?
Yeah.
Like that seems a little shitty.
I mean, it's the same thing for like prisons, right? our tax monies go towards private prisons where they're, that
True.
whole issue. It's like my money that I earn is taxed by the government, that is then supplemented to be able to keep people locked away for crimes that I may not necessarily agree with, but I live in a country that has done those things, and that is the law. But it's a broken system, and I still have to accept the fact that my money is going into that thing that I don't agree with.
The only thing I would say that's different about prisons is there is a positive service that money is doing for you, because
Keeping you safe.
exactly, like, it's those people. It's not just like, oh shit, this cost me money and I'm getting nothing from it.
I would rather my money go towards mental health, to be able to help those people reintegrate themselves into society and
Yes.
help the underlying issue that caused them to get there in the first place.
I 100% agree. It would be awesome if that was how our prison system worked. And
Yeah, you got to move to a blue state. I think that's the.
I don't even know if that's the case in blue states. I feel like that's like.
Well, I just mean like living in proximity with other like-minded people tends to get more done, I would say. But
I guess in your immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier, I should say. There are people who live in an area and in a community that is contrary to how they want to live their lives, and they have a daunting task out of them of trying to either convince or to play the long game of, someday I can get my parents to smoke weed, like that type of thing.
I don't know. I think I would love to live in a blue state if there was just one that I would feel comfortable living in.
Comfortable atmospherically?
I think
that's not a real word.
Economically and culturally. So like I have a lot of I like having these kind of conversations. In places that are extremely blue or extremely on the left, you cannot. You can't do that. Like even questioning some things, even asking the question of what do you think about Andrew Tate, the thought process should be, oh, obviously we all hate this guy. This is a terrible human being. I'm not saying he's a good person. I think he's a pretty shitty human being. But I should be allowed to have that conversation with someone. I should be able to ask somebody, hey, how do you feel about Andrew Tate? Them tell me like, oh, I actually really like some of the stuff he said. Like maybe some of the stuff has helped me out or whatever. And I shouldn't want to kill that person. I should be able to be like, okay, all right, I understand the good that you got from this person. Hopefully you're still seeing all the really bad stuff. But I feel like and this is not just left people. I think left and right do this. If you go to the extremes of anything, like I was saying before, the extremes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The
suck.
extremes. I think your examples, you're talking about the extremes of liberals versus the extremes of conservatives. And I think a majority of people, 80% of people, are going to fit in that.
I think most
kind of
people
moderate
in the
area
real
that will
world,
have that conversation.
I think most people in the real world fit in that moderate place. The problem I'm running into nowadays is that most people online are on the are far in the extremes, and only one of those extremes is an acceptable place to be. Like only one of those extremes is an acceptable thing to post.
Well, it depends on
right now.
That depends on like okay.
Like
sure.
it swings back and forth. It definitely
it.
swings back and forth. But right now, it's what I would love. My utopia. I'm sure there'll be something really terrible about this. Would be if that more moderate thought process was more common. It's not, and that shit sucks. And I get it. Saying wild shit is sensational. You get clicks, you get money. You're incentivized to say some crazy shit on the internet. I get it, but it does kind of suck.
I think taking the internet as your example
is a bad idea.
Is overly biased. Or not on your part, but I mean the sample size of people who are typing things out or saying a comment is a fraction of, in my opinion, I think it's a fraction of what the majority of Americans by themselves, not necessarily the rest of the world. I think Americans themselves is a small majority of people who actually are on the internet. I mean, take for example the percentage of our population that is over the age of 40 is huge.
Yeah.
And those people, that demographic of people is going to have a certain way of thinking. And I would
That's fair.
never try to put myself in a situation where like, oh, I feel like I can't talk about something because it's not going to change. It's like it will change over time. That's how we're going to, I mean, everything has to be the long game. And if we don't have the conversations with people who are extreme on both sides, you're not even going to introduce the idea of some sort of change into their mind. And that's why I'll say whatever I want and I don't care what you think, because your thoughts are your own. Those thoughts don't affect me until you put them into action. And so you can think whatever you want. It's what you do. And what actually impacts my life. That's
Yeah.
what I'm worried about. You can
Well, I
think
mean-
and do whatever you want in your own house.
Well, that boils down to the phrase that action speaks louder than words. Then, yeah.
How do you
Which
vote?
Which I would hope most people agree with.
How do you treat other people? Like, those are things that I think are more important than, oh, this is what I typed on the internet. This is what I said. Yes, that's what we use nowadays because it's so easy. We can just take a quote out of context. You can take a clip out of context and use it to push your agenda. But do you actually go out and do those things? Are you actually a hateful person, or are you just someone behind a keyboard? And then the people who actually get offended by those things or take those words and be like, oh my God, he's attacking me. No, it's just words. It's just his thoughts that are written down and you can see an example of them, but have the mental fortitude to either be aware of your feelings and your understanding to not let that affect you. No one else should have control over your emotions or that thing unless it's a physical interaction.
I 1,000,000% agree with that.
I think that now more than ever, because maybe not fully because, but largely to do with how large social media is,
Mhm.
just in normal society now. People like judge each other by one word or sentence they say far more than they should. There's so many like people do it. Tons of us do it without even thinking. I do it, like
Yeah.
for sure. I'll judge, like I'll hear one thing someone says, I don't know anything about them, and immediately my first thought is I don't want to talk to this person at all. But you have a couple of conversations with the same person, and it turns out, oh, that one thing they said is not who they are whatsoever. And I think that interpersonal relationships and like from that low to the ground all the way up to like high court status, in cases and stuff. You hear someone say something in a court case and you're like, oh, fuck that person. And it's like, oh, you heard one thing this person said, maybe like everything else is inaccurate. Like the first thing that comes to mind as an example is like the Johnny Depp case.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah. That shit was wild.
The direction I mean that is kind of strange but there were a lot of people, and this is a heavy-handed one. This is like a
Yeah.
heavy topic. Any form of domestic abuse or violence is obviously atrocious.
I heard it was just dog poop, so it probably wasn't just that heavy.
Oh, you're right. Why you poo on the bed?
Why you poo?
One of our friends in Discord, his like description under his name just says, Amber, why you poop onto bed? And I see it every time I hop on Discord, and I still think it's so fucking funny. But that being the example, that case, it's like there were tons of people. There were tons of people. I love Johnny Depp as an actor.
Yeah.
Personally, I love movies. I love cinema. I notice how I say I correlate a lot of things to movies and cinema. That's just kind of like what fills most of my head.
I do that to video games, so I get it.
For sure, yeah. There were tons of people who were avid Johnny Depp fans, and the first thing that people heard from the start of that interaction before it went to like the case level that it did was actor Johnny Depp abused actor Amber Heard. And there were a lot of people like on social media that I just saw. Like I didn't really like talk to anyone about it or interact with it because conversations like that online are impossible to have, which is like, the crux of how this conversation started. I don't like talking to people in normal life about heavy-handed conversations. because they just don't end well in my experience. So
Yeah, because people let the other person affect their emotions, and they have an emotional response. Now, if you were prepared, not by yourself. I mean, some people just or either vicariously live or have learned through repetitive their own experiences and their own interactions, and then they've gained this kind of like mental wall to be able to like, you know, either not have emotion or have too much, whatever. You know, it's if you it's super important to me for people to like if I see that you're not able to like handle it and you get emotionally charged by something that I say and not, you know, I understand that there
Yeah.
are people who are trained to be like debaters. Like I could debate with Steven and he would never lose his shit. But there are other people in my life that I can argue with, and you know, they close their ears to anything because they're just not capable of hearing. And I think that part is like super important. You have to be in a position in your life to want to talk about those things and also be capable of hearing. You don't have to listen to it, you don't have to follow it, but you have to be able to, you know, just let the idea, be able to entertain the idea without letting it affect how you know,
Yeah.
lashing out or getting angry, even if it's in a subtle way. Like,
Yeah, getting emotionally attacked.
yeah.
I
I mean,
think,
but it's tough. We're emotional beings.
I feel like I guess is obviously like uh subjective, or yeah, because I'm talking about my own experience, but I feel like I've been able to do that sometimes online. But it's a very I enjoy it because for me it's like a balance act of like acknowledging the other person's point of view. Like I get into like not really Twitter wars, but I'll get in how have conversations. I'll back and forth with people on Twitter where it's like they'll say something super extreme, and I'm like, look, I 100% understand where you're coming from, why you're saying that. I actually really agree with like your core point. I think this part right here is the part where I need you to meet me. And usually if I go at things with like from that like angle, 9 times out of 10 it usually brings things down. Like it's usually able to like get somebody out of their fifis and like think about what they're saying and engage with and be like, "Ooh, actually yeah, that was a bit much." Me personally, I live for that shit because that's the type of conversations I want to see. And I understand that is extremely like idealistic for me to want that, but that's the way that I kind of try to engage with it. Now, I've also seen the other thing where I try that angle and then they're already tuned out. With those people I just kind of go either A, I just drop the conversation, I don't think about it, I don't talk about it anymore. Or B, I have a lot of fun and I fuck with those people because that's also fun to me. And I know it's counterproductive of the thing that I just said before, but I don't know. That shit's hilarious to me when people fucking lose their mind on the internet. Especially if they're like objectively wrong about something and they're just hammering it over and over. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Gabe's face says right now that he is objectively disagreeing with most of the things that I've said.
Yep.
we're gonna have a long conversation in the car tomorrow.
I think to summarize, I think all of us, the fact that we can all have these conversations that we don't, you know, it's a good sign to me that all of us can have these conversations, not let the other's opinions evoke strong emotions response. We've all remained subjectively, but you know, objectively,
yeah.
you know, broad enough.
I was gonna say, when it comes to like interpersonal relationships and heavy-handed conversations like this, I think that the largest thing that you need to have, or should have, one of the largest things you should have, is enough respect for the other persons in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys are both my friend,
Yeah.
right?
No.
It's like there's a lot
That
of
was a- that
reassurance.
was a-
There's a
that was
lot
a-
of
that was-
reassurance that's happening right now.
No. This is no.
Just
I'm
like-
just saying. No. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. I think both of you are my friends.
Yes.
If either of you said something that I completely disagree with, I respect you enough as a person
Jealous.
to not to like I'll discuss it with you. I'll be like, yeah, I don't agree with that. Here's my reasons why. Here's your reasons why. That won't make me think less of you guys, and it should apply that way to anyone having a conversation. Like you should go, like you see all these things on the news of people like fighting over like political stuff, sure,
Yeah.
like physically fighting, but it's like if you're gonna physically fight someone, for example, over a conversation, then you're not fit to have that conversation in the first place.
Yeah.
and and you shouldn't, frankly. But there is, I do believe in like governmental rights to a certain point, and I think that anyone's entitled to their own opinion, even if I disagree with it wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I something that this whole conversation has made me like realize though, it's really tough to find people that disagree with a lot of the stuff, and I'm almost more like,
Wait, you just said that you go on Twitter and
no, disagree and like,
find the fights.
We'll come onto like a Discord call and
Mm.
talk about like the
You don't
like,
watch enough Destiny.
Oh, I watch a lot of Destiny, but it's different for a bigger streamer to do something like that.
Yeah.
Versus
for
some rando. But it's not to say that that's something that I necessarily want to do. It's just like, I guess for now, like the Twitter stuff is good enough. Steven Crowder, Jesus fuck, I forgot about that guy.
I don't know who that is.
He's like, imagine like Destiny, but far right, and he only debates like college students.
Bully.
That's basically that's basically that
Not.
guy.
oh, that he's the guy that does the
He was a voice
he
actor.
he sets up the booth outside of college.
Changed my mind, bro.
Changed my mind. Yeah.
I
He's that guy. Yeah.
I used to
Not
watch him
woke.
a lot, as not necessarily like, oh, I agree with everything he's saying. It was more of like, it's very entertaining to watch him like what Corey said, basically bully kids. But then after a while, I started watching like people who actually knew what the fuck they were talking about debate, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is way better. Even there's some people even on the far right that are more entertaining to watch than him, because he's just, I don't know. That's my opinion, but you know, people.
That's
It's
how I was
interesting-
with Shapiro for a while.
Same. He was in the same boat.
Yeah,
He's more interesting to listen to than Crowder.
Yeah, 90% of the things that come out of his mouth, I don't fucking agree with,
Yeah.
even remotely. But watching someone who debates for a living,
Yeah.
it's interesting to watch and see how
Yeah.
people have the conversation. And then when someone asks this person that's debating a question that you would ask,
Yeah.
it's always interesting to watch how they
work around it.
dismantle it or work
Yeah.
around it. And you're like, most of the time, it's like, it's not even the question I asked you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess that's just how that works.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say, right? It's like Joe talks about not being able to go somewhere else in this country because he encounters the extremes of one side or the other normally, and it's hard to have interactions like this. But it's comes down to like, how capable are you of having these discussions? Do you understand the subtle techniques of convincing someone else to get to your side without even them realizing that you do it? Like you did on Twitter, where you're like, I agree with you at your core point, but this little tidbit over here is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And there are people who are way smarter than me who understand that if they were in my shoes right now talking to you two, they could get you to be on my side 100%. And you wouldn't necessarily actually like, you would realize at the end, be like, holy shit, he actually got me to say the thing that I
thing that I
almost
don't-
didn't agree
yeah.
with in the first beginning. And now I'm agreeing with it to a certain extent. There's a way to do that. And there are
Yeah.
techniques, and there are kind of like wolves among sheep that will have the ability to do that, whether it's through education or whether it's through trial and error of just learning themselves. And I think we've taken it huge bubble, and it all comes down to like, how much time do we individually have to deal with all these issues while we're living our own
Yeah,
lives?
it's time consuming.
And like, that's the limiting factor, right? It's like, we have the luxury of spending an hour and 45 minutes talking about issues, but what's the end goal for us? Do we want to push a topic? Do we just want to have fun? We like getting to the deep topics, but it ends up just being talk. We're all like-minded people. Do we need to get someone in here who's like, all right, there's 3 versus 1. Let's see if we can get
I
this
don't think it
person
would
to do
ever
that thing.
do anything like that, because I think that's the worst possible way to go about doing something like that. Is having like a 3v1 kind of thing. But
Who can we get in here?
that would
Let's get Dying Bite. I know where he lives. Hold on.
Docs.
stocks.
I can't drag from another server, but he's in the other server.
I've always thought that was odd that you can't just like pull. I guess that's too much. That would be too much stuff.
Yeah, that's like Discord admin privileges.
Maybe I was about to say maybe if you're like admin mod or admin level in both servers,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
That would be cool.
No, that'd be fun.
It'd be
is what
fun
it
to
is.
do, but it'd be very frustrating for the person getting yanked around.
I'm busy. Oh, can you ban him real quick?
Oh, true. He keeps saying roadblocks. I'm gonna add roadblocks to the ban terms.
I was gonna say he brought up a point that I wanted to hit.
What's that?
I don't want to anymore because he said Roblox.
Oh no.
No. He said referring to Shapiro, I believe, is when he said that.
Oh yeah.
He said he's changed my perspective on stuff, but not opinion. The distinction between perspective and opinion is like the know all. If you're in the debate world and you're listening to that stuff, that's the whole bit. Your perspective changing if you're listening to someone who, for example, you were talking of both extremist sides.
Yeah.
If you're very far on one side of the bar and you're listening to someone on the very opposing side, they can still very much change your perspective on things with examples you've never heard of. Or I mean that's like the main crux. But it's the opinion. If you can retroactively listen to someone and get different perspectives and keep an opinion, that is like peak fucking mind exploding. That is how you should listen to.
I will say that is the reason why I think you two in particular are good friends of mine. It's because you have the ability to listen to somebody, get their perspective, but still hold your opinion. Like
Corey's a wet blanket. I don't know about that one.
I don't think he is. I think Corey. I've seen Corey not be combative, but like be like, dude, like you can. That's you. But like that, I'm not changing my mind on this because this is something fundamentally that I believe or that I think is right. You thinking that from your perspective, like I get it, I understand why, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna hop over and just believe or follow you doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't remember if I mentioned it when I was on Just Chatting. Not Just Chatting. What was it called?
Just about anything.
Yeah, just about anything. I don't remember if I like necessarily went into
Not
it, but
a
like
real friend.
yeah, it's been a while. The show got canceled like 2 years ago.
Did it?
Did it?
I don't think it got canceled. I just think
Canceled?
I haven't uploaded a podcast like that in
Writer's
knows
block.
how.
Writer's block.
It's been a while. This is nice though. This is definitely getting the juices flowing again for that. So.
Oh, whoa.
And it's easier to plan.
Because there's just 3 of us.
I do feel that
No, because I don't gotta go anywhere.
Because it's like digital. I genuinely still feel that there is something lost in digital versus sitting across from
I
someone.
agree.
So
I agree.
I don't know. I think what I'll probably do is more digital stuff, but this makes me want to do another podcast episode sometime soon. So
nice.
Yeah, can we talk about like movies or anime next time? Because my heart hurts.
Your heart. It should be your brain. Do you think with your heart? I was trying to get you not to do that.
My emotions are so pulled right now. He said the word extremist so many times.
It's interesting because I was gonna say like a lot of people let their perspective be chiseled by their parents into stone, and they are not malleable or open to any other opinions. And there are people who let their personality and their bedrock of who they are be a puddle of water that is super fluid, and there is no structure.
Yeah.
I like to be someone in the middle where there are things that I hold true, but for me it's almost nothing is absolute. Like
I think when presented with valid enough information or experiences, I could, all of my perspectives, all of my
Yeah.
things could change, but I would need something concrete to happen or to experience for it to be like, oh shit, I was
Yeah,
wrong
we live
about that.
in a
Like,
world where things are changing so rapidly that to hold on to either antiquated information
Yeah.
or an antiquated way of thinking is counterintuitive to being a
being
human.
dumb.
We have to think as a larger group to the future. And it's hard for a lot of people because you have to focus on the now. You have to worry about dinner and food and getting to work tomorrow and all the bullshit. Then you have to worry about next month and paying rent. And next year you have to worry about what you're going to do for Christmas. So, like, getting that future sight to being able to look way far ahead is just something that takes a lot of perspective, and it gets better as you get older. And I think that we have a good mix too of people who are mature enough to understand, complex issues. You may not get your whole head around it, and I'm definitely not one to be like, I'm really good at, understanding any of this, but I have my opinions and I think they're slightly informed, I guess, enough.
I I hope you didn't forget what you were about to say, Gabe, because I saw that you were about to say something, and then.
Oh no, I remember it this time.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so write it down.
I do shit. I have a whiteboard right there, though. I do want to utilize that. I just want to hold it right here the whole time and just keep score. I don't know. I was gonna say what you said about your parents like chiseling perspectives into you that it's hard to like break from, I guess. That's like a huge problem I still have, right? I'm currently trying to work on the fact when people say something to me and I have a gut reaction of like, oh, that's my opinion on this. And then I pause. The second I think that, I'm like, do I really think that? Or is that just what mom and dad tried to chisel into me, which is in everyone's situation it's so different. And
Yeah.
for me it's weirder. It's like very, very strange. I've talked to both of you guys about this all the time because my dad's an interesting individual. But my parents had such different views. All sides of my family had such different views on everything, and it's a great example to why I know virtually nothing about the largest religion base in the country I live in. Like, one wanted me to do one thing, one didn't care, and then the other one that did care didn't care anymore.
Is it still the largest?
I would assume. Oh, I was also going to say earlier, kind of on that topic, because you said that the Catholics have it where it's at, man, with the kids thing.
You're gonna need to explain that.
This.
What about?
That only happens for reproductive purposes.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying I agree with that.
Oh.
This is a joke.
Oh,
okay. All right.
This
you,
is a,
you sounded like you were all on board with the. I was like, okay, the Catholics got it. All right.
Let me preface. There is a Monty Python bit. Yes, I'm relating to cinema.
Everything's a movie for you.
Yeah.
It's all I know. Take me to trivia and I won't get a movie question.
I was gonna say that's what's like scary for me as a I don't want to dox myself, as an older person, is watching
42.
the younger. Shut the fuck up.
85.
Watching the younger generation have all of this access to information. You grew up with a phone, you're a Zoomer, you roll through information and you learn so much, but the rest of us have to like constantly keep up. Like, just add that onto the pile of things that are. What are you laughing at?
The Sweet Like Kiwi.
Sweet Like Kiwi's comment. All great jokes end with because they don't start as a joke. That makes them a great joke. Women should. It's a joke. Kidding.
It's a joke, bro. It's a prank.
It's just a prank, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I lost what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Zoomers
do be zooming.
I said tumors.
Zoomers be zooming. By the way, 50% of Americans are Protestants.
Really?
23% are Catholic. 2% Mormons.
Protestant?
Which leaves us with 25% either non-denominational or no religious affiliation.
What the fuck?
Because I think this is census data from 2018.
Okay, but Protestant just means
Protestant
just
is Christian.
Yeah.
Christian. Yeah, you're not-
Christianity.
There's Roman Catholic and then Protestant.
Mm,
I'm not saying there's the only two, but I'm saying
Yeah.
Protestant is separated from the Roman Catholic Church.
I think there's different
I'm reading a definition right now. I
different
know
sects
I'm
of
right.
Catholicism too. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, duh. But they're part of the Roman Catholic Church subsect, Protestant subsect.
I mean, technically, Christianities are also Roman.
I'm reading definitions. Hold on.
I'm
A
pretty
member
sure.
or
I'm pretty sure they
follower-
all came
Protestant, a member or follower of any of the Western Christian churches that are separate from the Roman Catholic Church and follow the principles of the Reformation, including the Baptist, Presbyterian, and Lutheran churches. That is basically what I said.
The face.
from.
That was good.
How do you clip things?
And you guys know what? We just went full circle. Started out with Bible stories,
True.
and we ending
Perfect.
on.
That's a solid. No,
that is
we
a
ended. It's 2
perfect.
hours. We're 2 hours in here.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
I was
we're-
trying to
no,
like.
this is ending. This is ending.
This is ending. This is ending. Now.
You, Joe, just go to bed. Leave your stream up.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nope.
Wait, he has to
Uh,
switch. He has to switch
nope.
to just chatting, or what is it called? What's the Twitch?
Talk shows and podcasts.
Talk
He
shows.
already swapped, dude. I watched him and I gave him a
Oh.
little.
No. What's the one for sleeping? Or is that like
there is
ASMR?
one for that. I
There's
don't
one
know
for
what it's called
sleeping.
though. I think it's just called
Hot
IRL.
tubs.
I have a hot tub in my complex, and I've thought many a times about doing a little hot tub stream. Sounds like a good time. But,
Oh, I want in.
you want
Someone that we work with tried to convince me to do a hot tub stream
Yeah,
with them in a bikini, and he would pay me, and I was like,
that's a little sus.
it's
Wait, I
sus.
know who this is. Who is this?
Money is money.
Money is money.
Money is money is money.
And pizza, and he said free pizza.
Ooh, pizza's pretty solid. Pizza would sweeten the deal for me. What were you saying, Corey?
I know who requested Gabe to be in a hot tub.
Oh,
I can't remember. I've heard this.
He
Ooh. Doesn't work here anymore.
still works with us. Yes.
I think.
Is it our boss?
I
wouldn't put
would
it past him.
not be working where
He
we
would
work.
take money from anyone, to be honest.
I would not be working in any
Oh
job if a
no!
boss of mine
Yo, dude, I'll pay you to.
came to me and was like, "Hey, man, you wanna give you $20?
Man who
Hop in the
eats
tub."
The hot
this?
chip.
Who eats the hot chip?
Man who yes, the guy that did the hot chip challenge.
Oh yeah.
That tracks. That
he also
tracks.
on top of it, dude.
streams though. So is it doxing him? No, I'm not gonna plug his goddamn stream.
Real
Yeah, don't
talk-
plug him, dude. What?
Real
He's not even
talk,
here.
I
He said he was
have-
gonna be here.
I have the equipment to do this. I would be 100% down to do like.
Do
one-
you have an extra bikini?
don't have a single bikini.
That's your first problem.
I have an extra
Might be.
speedo for you.
There you go.
It probably won't fit. You have a badonk.
Oh, I'll make it fit. I'll tuck it in there.
You'll rip it, dude.
All right,
Little small booty.
let's get out of here. This was fun. I am happy that we did it. I'm happy that so many people tuned in. That was fucking awesome. That was a lot. That was not expecting that. But yeah, appreciate everybody that came in, checked out. Corey's frozen. He's not actually, but he's trying his best to be. It's not, didn't work out. But yeah. I don't know if you guys have anything you guys want to throw here in the end, but I'm pretty stoked with this. I would like to. There's a part of me.
Wait, can I?
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, Joe.
What?
Say it. Say it. I know what you're about to say. Say it.
I don't think you know.
Part
what
of
I'm
me?
about to say.
Yeah,
There's a
I think I do.
I was gonna say there's a part of me that wants to just make these some different version of just about anything,
Mm.
but I kinda-
After hours.
But there's also a part of me that wants them to be separate too. So I don't know where I want to put those.
I thought you were
But-
gonna say. I thought you were gonna say. We'll see you guys next Thursday.
No, I'm not. I mean, it'd be nice to say like that, but I don't know what your guys' schedules are like. I don't know.
We'll
Mine-
check
I
the
gave you my
analytics
goddamn
after.
schedule.
Hey, if these guys
See
are
you
ready
next
to rock and roll
Thursday,
next Thursday,
7:30 p.m. Just
7:30 p.m.
JoJo IDK podcast episode 2.
I feel like
Wait, didn't you just get off the phone today saying you have an appointment on Thursday?
there it is.
What? Let me look at the calendar real quick. That it's on Tuesday,
Oh,
homie.
Oh, I bet.
There it
I
is.
played
Wait, the thing you were
around
on the
it.
phone with about?
Yeah, the
Today?
It's the 17th.
Oh, I thought you said
And-
yeah, Thursday's okay.
All right. I also will make a new
Sorry.
rule.
I think
This
you're right.
this
actually.
episode was heavy shit, right? We're
Yeah.
talking about fucking Bible, all this bullshit.
No, we're not talking about fucking the Bible.
And you
We're
weren't talking about
the
fucking Bible. I was talking about fucking. I don't know. But next episode where we've been out, it's gonna be a lot of anime.
Ooh,
That's what we're talking about.
Hot boy shit.
That's what we're doing. So.
Wait, Gabe, who's last one? Who's Lazarus?
Oh, you should know
What?
this.
Lazarus.
You gotta know this. You actually don't have to know this. This is I can understand someone not knowing this.
I know someone in real life
Named Lazarus?
with the
Unless they
last
lived
name of
exactly 2,000
Lazarus.
years ago.
Wait, you know someone named Lazarus?
With the last name Lazarus.
Why would you
Interesting.
do that? That's a terrible last
I think it's cool.
This person. Oh wait, I guess that's the descriptor.
name.
Mm.
Yeah. He knows Laszlo.
That's a good
Basically,
show.
It is a good show.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
He rose
I'm
from the
s-
dead too.
I'm done. Wait, can I plug my book?
Yeah, plug it. Plug
Hey
it.
guys, my name's Gabe. I am an author. I am trying to self-publish a book. You can find it at www.
Your roommate
Twitch.tv.
laughing at you too.
My roommate's laughing at me. Twitch.tv/Jonesy JONESY_GT. It's not a book. It's my Twitch. I stream sometimes. I don't do heavy-handed shit at all. We have a good time. I break records in old PlayStation 2 games,
Hey,
and that's it.
yeah. At some
When's
point,
the last time you streamed?
I don't remember.
at some
Tomorrow.
That's about right.
point,
Thank you. It is a very interesting book. You should check it out. Give me a follow.
I'll be sure to check
I'll
it
be
out.
sure to check
Hey,
it out. There it is.
Thanks, Con.
At some
Wait,
point,
do we know Khan?
I know Con.
Oh.
At some point, we're gonna peer pressure Corey into streaming it as well. But
Yeah, we will
Streaming
peer
on
pressure
Twitch by
Corey into
myself?
streaming.
no, you'll be streaming on YouTube because it'll be the platform that exists at the time that you start streaming because Twitch will be dead. by
Oh,
then.
true.
So
Hold on, let me cancel all my subs.
there it is. That's what you gotta do. I have one sub, and you guys know who it is. Anyway, okay, we gotta get out of here. Thanks again. Like super.
I don't know
appreciate
who it
everybody
is, but that's okay.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
It's me.
Bye.
Peace.